Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to do a little rundown of my Ibanez guitars. I'm pretty stoked because I got a new one last week. So yeah, I'm going to do a little show and tell here. So let me start off with this guy right here. This is an Ibanez J Custom. I forget the model number. It's always like 4 digits or whatever. But anyway, made by the custom shop. It comes stock with the Seymour Duncan pickups. I think that's a Jazz. That's a custom 5. Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar, 5A maple top, mahogany back, and it's got the intricate tree of life, or variation of it, inlays. Yeah, it's a great guitar, warm sounding guitar, but the pickups are really, or this one in particular, it's a super nuanced pickup, lots of presence and overtones. So yeah, it's a very honest pickup, kind of like the Fred on the Joe. So yeah, I've never played live with this because if you don't practice, your shittiness will come out. So yeah, I try to avoid playing live with it. No, but really, the main problem I have with this guitar, in terms of playing live with it, is yeah, the fretboard is just too busy. And if you look at the side markers, they're tiny. So it's really easy to get lost. Even though if you look closely, there's it does kind of make sense. You see that the bigger leaves are on the traditional spots. That's like 3. I can't see the 5, but that's a 7, 9, and that's a 12. But again, when you're in the middle of a song, you're playing something fast, it's really easy to get lost. So yeah, I try not to play with it. And also the fact that it's in pristine shape, I'd hate for it to get dinged. So this one I played live with. This is my JS1200. That's signed. Yeah, it's very different from the rest of these guitars. I would say this is the closest thing to a Strat out of all these guitars. Like, the neck is very not Ibanez. It's it's not as wide. It's a little plump. It really feels more like a modern day Strat, not like the vintage ones with the big baseball bat necks. But yeah, it's a versatile guitar. The pickups you can split, so if you need single coil sounds, you can get them there. Yeah, it's got the old school edge tremolo. The pickups are, and this is a Fred. This is the, I don't remember, but it's a great sounding guitar. And also, yeah, it's got a high pass filter for the volume, and that's how you split the coils on the pickups. And then this guy is, it's like a mini Iceman that I got for Axel back when he was 6, I think. Maybe even younger. It was, yeah, Christmas of 2012. I really wanted him to become a guitar player too. I think as a parent, we all kind of wanted kids to sort of follow our footsteps if they're the right ones, But anyway, yeah, he never played this guitar. He never showed interest. But later on, he started on the drums, and then he transitioned to playing the bass. And he's a fucking crazy bass player now. Like, he'll do jazz solos on the fretless and humming at the same time. But it's actually cool because it's kind of gone full circle, because he plays guitar now in his jazz combo. So he's got my ES335, the Epiphone one, at school. So, but anyway, 24 fret Iceman mini version, 2 humbuckers. They're just the generic humbuckers, fixed tail bridge, All right, next one we have here is a Prestige 3120 in Twilight Blue, although it doesn't look as blue as it once was. Blue always, they tend to fade. Something with blue dyes, and I'll I'll show you another example too. But anyway, this is one of my favorite guitars. Yeah, traditional RG, super shredder, thin neck, wide with the jumbo frets, 2 humbuckers with the low pro edge tremolo, which is my favorite. Yeah, I think this has a tone zone. I forget what this one is, but it's a great sounding guitar. The tone zone is a really cool pickup if you play with a lot of gain. Although I try not to play with a ton of gain. I just use just enough gain because, putting gobs of distortion on a guitar, that's something that you do when you're like 10, you get your first great amp, But yeah, with the tone zone, the more gain you put through it, it handles a ton of gain really well. So if you're running through a rack, with a ton of distortion, you're pushing that with an overdrive, it just compresses more, it just gives you more power in a sense. So yeah, it's also a pretty heavy sounding guitar. Like a lot of my RGs, if I can, pick one. Normally when I buy guitars, I go for the value. I don't just buy shit that looks pretty or whatever. I want to make sure that, if I buy something, if I have to hawk it, I don't lose money on it. Like I approach, buying guitars like buying stock. You don't want to be losing money when you're, collecting shit. So, but yeah, no, this has a mahogany body with a maple top. Sounds really heavy, even though it's a set neck. When you're playing heavy stuff, you really get that chug, kind of a sound if you're going through a Marshall. So that's why this is one of my favorites. And then this one is I forget the model number, but it's very similar to this guitar. 2 humbuckers, 24 frets, mahogany with a maple top. But yeah, this one is nice and heavy too because of the mahogany. So yeah, very similar tones to this guy. The neck humbucker is different, but it's built very similarly to this guy. But the neck is a little bit meatier. So at one point, this became my main guitar. I started experiencing hand pain, so playing guitars with thicker necks just felt more comfortable in my hands because you have, just more wood to hang on to. That sounds so wrong, but anyway, I'm sure you get my point. And the next one here this is just a regular production model, but I fell in love with it because I love blue. And this one, the colors held pretty well except for the headstock. The headstock's faded a little bit, so it's starting to turn a little bit purple. But when I saw this isn't an 80s RG. I think I got this around 2007. But I like the old school look because this has the binding of the shark tooth inlays. The proprietary shark tooth inlays, the Ibanez ones with the 2 points, not like the Jacksons. But yeah, this has 2 humbuckers and a single coil, whammy bar, same layout pretty much. But yeah, I like this guitar because even though it's got stock pickups, these are nothing fancy. These are stock Ibanez pickups, but they sound really good. So next one, this was a rare find. This is an early 90s Paul Gilbert model in mint shape. I think this is a 94 or 95, I think. But yeah, this thing is spotless. And I've always loved Paul Gilbert. First time I saw this guitar when I was a kid, I knew I wanted one. And I think these guys initially came out as 2 models. This is the cheaper one. It has the rosewood neck, and these aren't DiMarzios, but I like rosewood. Actually to this day, I only have one guitar that has a maple fingerboard. I love rosewood. They sound a little bit warmer, and also the rosewood fingerboards are like they're like living things, you know, when they get dingy and you clean them up and you oil them, they actually end up looking better than they did before. So, but otherwise, you know, it gets the job done. Even though the pickups aren't DiMarzio, they're still pretty sweet sounding. So yeah, this one has a reverse headstock. And then the next one, I think I need a break, so I'm gonna pause it right here. Hang on. All right, I'm back. So yeah, this one is another prestige model. What's unique about this guy is this has the modern Ibanez shark tooth inlays. So these are just outlines instead of like a solid shark tooth inlay. So I found this really cheap on Craigslist. I bought this for like $450, and it's a, you know, it's a prestige model, so made in Japan. And yeah, when I got it, it already had upgraded pickups. So all these guys are DiMarzios. So yeah, this is an Evolution. I forgot what this one is. But yeah, no, this is an Evolution 2. So which is what they have on the Steve Vai gems. So yeah, for $450, I can pass up on that. And so yeah, it's a great heavy sounding guitar. This has a variation of the Wizard neck, so it's really wide, but it's also thick. So yeah, it's a really heavy sounding guitar. When I used to play in drop C, actually, I still haven't converted this. This is still a drop C guitar, so it just handles you know, the drop tunings really well. It's got a super stable neck, and I think this is also reinforced. This is reinforced. That guy too. It's got the titanium reinforcement on the neck, so it's great for tuning down and, you know, for heavy stuff. Yeah, it sustains really well. And the next one here, this is the one that I got last week. This is a super special guitar. This is the J Custom Metal 1 RG. They only built 12 of these. And yeah, this is the prototype for the Gem 90th ham anniversary guitar, which is, yeah, this guy's coated in metal, pickguard, unlike this guy right here. This is just mirrored. Yeah, and also, according to the guy I bought it from, maybe he was telling the truth, but he replaced the stock pickups with some custom ordered DiMarzios. These are variations of the Evolution. And I looked underneath, and it looks like he's telling the truth because it is stamped DiMarzio, but the model designation is handwritten. So yeah, and it does you know, sound pretty good. It sounds like the Evolution, which is really bright and punchy, but this guy, how can I explain it? Yeah, it really sings on the top end. It's almost like once you play a note, as it decays, it's like it starts ringing like in a way that has more presence or treble, kind of like cock and a wah forward. And I posted a video, and you can hear the difference when the note's fading. It actually feels like it's gonna feed back. It's very reminiscent of the PRS, the pickups that I have in the Custom 24, which is the Hot Fat Sings, or Hot Fat Screams, the HFS pickups. So, but one thing about this guitar, since the pickguard is metal, it's noisy in the way where it feels like the pickguard is a part of the pickup. So if you tap on this when you have the guitar on, you're playing with distortion, it's like kind of doing this. So you just kind of have to be a little bit more careful and not tapping the pickguard. I guess since, you know, it's all metal, it becomes like one thing. So, but otherwise, great guitar. When I put it together, I barely had to set it up. You know, there's plenty of life on the frets, and yeah, like the the curvature of the neck after I took off the strings and took it off the body, it sort of held. Because normally when you get the proper curvature of the neck, you want it to have a little bit of give so it doesn't buzz. But normally when you get that, it's basically a part of the equilibrium involving the pull of the strings. So once you take the strings out of the equation, normally the neck wants to go straight again. So, but yeah, it seemed like, it held pretty well. So, yeah, RG Metal 1. And this guy is a pretty standard gem. It's the Gem 7V, the Japanese model. This is another great guitar. They discontinued this and replaced it with the Pia. And I'm really happy that I got one of these because I really don't like the Pias. The cutouts on the Pias remind me of the chili and Chili's logo. It looks like a chili pepper. And and basically this is what I associate, Steve Vai with. His main guitars are these. So, and I think that's pretty much it. So this has the original Tree of Life inlay. I think the one on the J Custom is a variation of it. This guy's a little bit easier to play live, and I've toured with this guy too. So yeah, if you see the bigger leaves, they're in the spots where you'd have the dots. So it's not as easy to get lost with your fingering. So otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. So these are my babies, and I'm pretty stoked. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my little show and tell. And I'll check in with you guys later. All right, peace.